Hey, Jet Setters. This is going to be another episode specifically how do we lose fat when we travel more than 10 days a month? That is the topic of today's episode. This is an opportunity for me to talk a little bit more about like my life and really how I got even into doing this and the problems that I solve and the results that my clients get. So, if you're new here, welcome. If you followed me on my other platforms, fantastic. If this is review for you, enjoy. If not, a little bit about what we do here and who I am. So I became a pilot about 10 years ago in the Army, flew helicopters, transitioned to the airlines, and the first thing I noticed going to the airlines was the number of overweight pilots, but also overweight flight attendants and just the sickly people that I saw on a day-to-day basis in the travel industry. Um, and it scared me. And I was like, wow, like I've always, wanted to take care of my health. It was always important to me. And I saw possibly what this new career for me would do to my health. So from the beginning, I had been thinking, I have to mitigate this obstacle. This lifestyle's hard on your body. What am I going to do to prevent me from being the quote fat airline pilot? Well, the first thing I did was I actually went vegan, and that was great. I still pretty much eat a plant-based diet. I certainly don't eat meat. If I'm really stuck for protein or somewhere and I can't get anything, like maybe I might have some eggs. Um, Cookie every once in a while, might have some dairy in it, but I really do my best to be mostly plant-based. That has been a good decision for the record, but it wasn't enough to really get the body that I had been trying to achieve pretty much my whole life. The body that I always wanted was muscular and low fat. And I haven't quite done that. I've built a lot of muscle, but it was higher fat when I was an offensive lineman in football. And I got really skinny, but didn't really have any muscle when I used to run all the time for the Army. So I've never really kind of had both. And that was something that I wanted. I wanted to figure that out. And I struggled with that for years, even in the industry. And I noticed that I would just get skinny fat, and every other week or so I would feel good, but then I'd feel like, man, I look terrible today. What's going on? My physique would rapidly change very quickly. And I just felt like I was on a hamster wheel where I had to just work out every day or I had to do more intense activity just to maintain a level of leanness that I wanted. And when it came to building muscle, it just never came on. So it was super frustrating. Um, it wasn't until then I asked for help and I worked with an online trainer and I learned how to actually kind of change my body, but also kind of develop strategies to overcome my specific obstacles as an airline pilot, someone who travels more than 10 days a month. Um, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. That's a little bit about me, but I wanted to talk about really the fundamentals of muscle growth and fat loss when your life is not routine. And I bring this up because there's so many coaches and PT and trainers out there who help people develop muscle and lose fat. But very often, those health and fitness professionals are not airline pilots. They're not business travelers. They may have been in the past, but most of them haven't. And most of them, that's their only job. And they're really good at it. They got tons of knowledge. Everything that they offer does work. But the problem is that these professionals may be a little bit out of touch with what it's like to have a corporate job, what it's like to have a business travel job, what it's like to be a crew member, what it's like to routinely have your life messed with from a routine standpoint. And that's, I think, the biggest obstacle for individuals like us who travel. Sometimes you're getting up early, sometimes you're going to bed late. Sometimes you're eating the same food. Sometimes you're stuck and it's 11 o'clock at night and you're furiously looking through your phone. What is still open for me to order because I haven't eaten all day. So those real life issues, especially with someone who travels, very rarely get solved by the PT who's given you a meal plan and you have to see them in the gym. Because one, they're not traveling with you. Two, their meal plan works great if you have a mini fridge to take with you everywhere you go, which just isn't realistic for people like us. So that's where Jet Set Trainer comes in. That's where my company comes in, where we want to solve that problem of taking out the rigid, draconian, follow this meal plan, follow this workout plan, get results, and take some time to get to know each one of our clients and give them solutions based on one, the food they have available, two, the equipment they have available, and three, the time they have available. Notice, wouldn't that help pretty much anyone, not just travelers? So that customization and emphasis on sustainability is a big reason why our clients succeed with us as opposed to previous coaches they've been with. Ultimately, whether you succeed, I can't speak this morning, succeed or fail is going to come down to consistency, right? You can follow, quote, a better plan than what I might give you in a vacuum. What I mean by that is if you got paid to work out and eat, we can eat up all your time in your day to do that and eat exactly the right amount of food to eat, the exact right meal plan to follow, the exact workout to do at the perfect gym with the perfect equipment and a trainer right by your side, making sure that you're eating and exercising exactly according to plan, as if you were a professional bodybuilder and you had someone to do that all day. You can get that plan. That's not the plans we give because they're unrealistic, right? So when it comes to coming up with a plan for our clients, it's not about providing, quote, the best plan. It's about providing the biggest return on investment for the time, equipment, and food available to each of our clients. Doesn't that make a whole lot more sense? Because if we can put in a minimum amount of effort every day and still move forward on our goals, losing fat and losing muscle, what's the likelihood you'll ever go backwards? It's very low. Health and fitness journeys for everyone, you're going to have peaks and valleys. You're going to have life happen, whether you travel or not. It would make a whole lot of sense if you knew the non-negotiable, hey, I got to do this every day if I want to continue, even on my worst day. For example, like walking. I'm a big walker. You have the day from hell where nothing goes according to plan. Your day's totally shot. You were going to go to the gym. You did have a healthy meal planned. You did have your fitness thing on lock. Then you get in a car wreck. You can walk away, hopefully, because then you can walk later that evening. Or something bad happens. On your journey, you're going to need to have some level of triage to understand what makes the most sense on a given day, given time, in a given situation. That's what we teach. How can we triage your perfect plan into maybe a less perfect plan and maybe less, or maybe just hold on to the progress we've gotten as we get through this rough time so that when you do have a better moment tomorrow or the next day, you can start making progress. Because the worst thing we can do with our health and fitness journey is put in all this effort and lose it all in a couple months. Unfortunately, that is the reality for so many people because they don't know how to triage their plan to get the most out of a less than perfect situation. This all or nothing attitude permeates the health and fitness industry, and it's ridiculous. This all or nothing attitude is also very profitable for other health and fitness solutions. Take Ozempic, take GLP-1s, just take this shot. You'll lose weight. Get off the shot. We didn't learn really how to manage our eating, so now we've become codependent on a shot. Same thing with Weight Watchers. Now we're codependent on a method proprietarized that requires your lifelong membership to lose weight and keep it off. Take your standard in-person coach. They want to fill up their schedule every day in the gym. If they have any white space, that's not bad for them. So keeping clients indefinitely by making them feel like they can't just go to the gym on their own and actually get results. Allow it once again, it's not teaching you how to do anything. I'm sure in-person trainers teach you how, but that codependency is something that a lot of health and fitness professionals build their business on. We don't. And I say that because if we can learn to triage what we can do every day when it comes to losing fat and building muscle and keeping it off, there's going to be a time where you're going to master this for your own life. And you're not going to need me or anyone else to teach you how to do that. You can always learn and grow. You can always learn more. I'm not saying there's never a time to have a coach. I still have a coach because I'm taking my health and fitness journey to bodybuilding, and I've never done that before. That's where I wanted to take it. But if my goal was just to lose fat and build muscle on no timeline, I wouldn't need a separate coach to do that. I've just chosen to change my goal into something more aspirational. 90% of you listening to this would love to be in control of your body to where you knew how to lose fat and build muscle within a reasonable amount of time and know how to keep it off if you can't work out, or if you're going on a cruise for a week and you know you're going to be around a lot of alcohol, food that may or may not support your goals. Knowing how to keep your results, how to enjoy that cruise guilt-free, and come back to work when you come back and not feel like you have to start over. Or when that really big life thing happens, you know that, hey, at the minimum today, I can do this, and it's going to save my goals while I take care of life right now. It's that real flexibility that I've learned as a pilot who's constantly having their routine ruined, their routine canceled, flights delayed, sleeping late into the night or early into the morning, where my life is no more predictable than really anyone else, but I still make progress with my goals, and I still help clients with progress with their goals because I teach this fundamental skill of how to triage, prioritize, and not focus on this all or nothing fitness plan, but focus on the best plan for any given day, any given situation. And we do that with habits. We do that with workouts at the home, in the gym, at a hotel gym. We do that with nutrition. So you can DoorDash something at 11 p.m. at night and make the best of that situation. And it might even be the perfect food you need for your goals. So many people demonize takeout or demonize carbs, for example, or demonize like not quote meal prepping as quote unhealthy. Not necessarily. It just requires some knowledge on how to use the food available, whether it's Chipotle, McDonald's, or your gas station, to make the best of a situation. And it might not even be that bad because it requires a deeper understanding of nutrition other than eat chicken, broccoli, and rice every day and you get one cheat meal a week. That doesn't really teach you anything. That just teaches you obedience. Once again, leaving you codependent on that meal plan. So I just wanted to do an episode today on kind of the mindset behind Jet Set Trainer. Our mindset is not to give you the perfect plan to get you the most results the fastest time. That requires so much sacrifice that you might be able to stick to it for a month and then you're going to lose all the results the next 2 months. And then you're going to blame yourself and you're going to feel bad about yourself and you go back to this perfect plan that was never designed for you in the first place. Stop the madness. We are here to design your perfect plan with the tools you have available, with the goals you have, and with the foods you want to eat. No client of mine has the exact same plan. Every client has something unique because everyone's life's unique. It's my knowledge, my experience with austere environments with health and fitness that help me problem solve an obstacle you may need to get over. For example, I have flight attendants I work with who don't want a gym membership, but they want to work out when they're doing their overnights at hotels because the hotel has a gym. Great. We design hotel workouts for them. And they do the workouts when they're working, and when they're home, they're off because that's what works best for them. Awesome. So if I've piqued your interest I challenge you to just visit my website, jetsettrainer.com, learn more about me. If you're interested in losing fat and building muscle, specifically losing fat on the road, I'd love to help. This is another quick episode, but I did want to just talk about that. Just because you travel doesn't mean you need to be unhealthy. Doesn't mean that your job, whether it's travel, being a nurse, being a lawyer, whatever high pressure job you're in, it's not a crutch for your poor health. It'll only catch up with you later. It's only going to affect your income. It's only going to affect your relationships with others and yourself. So you can overcome this, and you can do it with someone who routinely overcomes this every single week. And you can join hundreds of clients who've done it with us and actually become in the best shape of their life in their profession, where their peers look at them and be like, what the heck is going on with this guy? So if you want to be that person who's a fit traveler or who's a fit professional in a profession that has a lot of unfit people, all you need to do is go to jetsettrainer.com, click schedule a call to work with me, fill out a 5-minute application. It's like 5 questions, and you'll get on a Zoom call and we'll talk about it. Love to meet you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Jet Set Trainer podcast.